What an absolute gutless, spineless, disgusting, shameful performance by Liverpool this was. Let me know your thoughts. I'm absolutely fuming. Liverpool have lost at Goodison Park against Everton for the first time in 14 years. Not even on the Jurgen Klopp's whole managerial career did we lose to Everton once at Goodison Park, and it comes in the last Merseyside derby of Jurgen Klopp's career that Liverpool put in such a wretched, disgusting stinker of a performance. Liverpool's season is over. We are out of the title race, and this last month and a half Liverpool have been unrecognizable. And the big question is, which is the true level of Liverpool? Is it the first 6 months when probably Jurgen Klopp's absolute genius galvanized the team and we put in a brilliant first 6 or 7 months of the season? But this last month, since the FA Cup game against Man United, Liverpool have been on a very steady, steep decline, and only Luis Diaz and Alexis McAllister out of these players can hold their heads up high today, because all the other Liverpool players, they were absolutely awful. They didn't want it enough. They didn't want it as much as Everton, and that's absolutely disgraceful. You can't have that, and not in any game, especially not in the Merseyside derby, where the Everton players were more fired up for this game. It looked like they wanted it more, and Everton was already pretty much safe before this game because they beat Nottingham Forest 2-0, very luckily, by the way, because Nottingham Forest should have had 3 penalties. But the Everton started the game on fire and they got a penalty, but thankfully it was ruled out because of an Everton offside. The VAR took us too long. The referee was absolutely awful. Every time an Everton player was touched, they fell over, they dived, and yet the referee ate it up and gave foul after foul after foul to Everton. And from one of these fouls, inevitably Everton, who scored like 45% of their goals from set pieces, which is like it's a record this season, and it's in the top 10 of all time Premier League statistics in terms of scoring the percentage of goals from set pieces. Everton are in the top 10 of that in every Premier League season. So Everton got a free kick, but the way Liverpool defended that was absolutely disgusting, shameful, shambolic. Trent Alexander-Arnold fails to head the ball clear. He completely misses the ball, and then the ball bubbles into the box, and Liverpool brilliantly blocked the shot, and then the ball falls to Konate, who, instead of letting McAllister clear it, and probably they didn't communicate properly, McAllister should have shouted to Konate, leave it. McAllister was already swinging his leg to clear the ball, and instead Konate passes it to the Everton player Branthwaite, the centre-back, who scores at the back post through Alisson. It goes under Alisson, but the goalkeeper was very exposed. But that was an absolute comedy of errors, a series of errors. It was a joke of a goal to concede, and then after that I thought Liverpool are gonna lose here because we can't score and we are dreadful at the back. The worst possible combination. We need like 10 chances to score 1 goal. Darwin Núñez was again one-on-one with Jordan Pickford. If he shoots either side of him, it's a goal. Instead, he shoots straight at him, fires straight at him. It's like Darwin Núñez lost his brain. He had a brilliant middle part of the season, and it looked like he was a much improved player from last season. But this Darwin Núñez is back to his last season's absolutely wasteful. Mo Salah, he just can't score. He can't shoot even. Mo Salah looked like so out of form, so out of confidence. It was unbelievable. And I don't understand why Jurgen Klopp didn't bring on the kids. Jadon Dance, Bobby Clark, they were on the bench. Instead, Jurgen Klopp brought on 3 defenders and a defensive midfielder. Kwanzaa, Tsimikas, Gomez and Endo. So 4 of our 5 substitutions were defensive substitution when we were 2-0 down. And of course, the icing of the cake, another set piece from a corner. Dwight McLeod swings it in, and Dominic Calwert-Lewin was supposed to be marked by Trent Alexander-Arnold at the back post, but Trent at the back post is just dreadful at marking players. But the way that he tries to defend it is absolutely disgraceful. He doesn't even jump. Dominic Calwert-Lewin is between Trent and the goal, and Trent just completely gives up. He just loses it. He just tries to push Calwert-Lewin a little bit to distract him, but he doesn't even try to head the ball clear. He doesn't even jump. He just completely loses Calwert-Lewin, who heads it into the goal. It looks like Trent can't be bothered to defend properly. He doesn't want to defend. He doesn't enjoy defending, the art of defending, and you can't have that as a fullback. I mean, the new manager should put Trent as a midfielder because he just doesn't like to defend in some games. And that's unacceptable. And Liverpool still created more than enough chances to actually win this game or get a draw. Because, you know, Luis Diaz, who was absolutely electric every single game, Luis Diaz gives his all. And I actually feel sorry for him because he's the hardest worker in our team alongside Alexis McAllister. But the other players, it looks like they just gave up. They just ran out of steam. They just ran out of fight, ran out of passion. And I don't want to blame Jurgen Klopp too much, but I just read Jurgen Klopp's interview saying that he didn't feel anything after we got knocked out by Atalanta from Europe. Like, how can you say that as a manager? I'm sorry, Jurgen Klopp, I love you. I have absolutely adored you as a Liverpool manager. But when you can't feel anything, when you get knocked out from European competition, it's clear that Jurgen Klopp is done. He's finished in terms of he ran out of energy. He doesn't really care anymore that much about this Liverpool team. I mean, the way that he just looked on from the sidelines in the second half, like he couldn't even be bothered to shout at the players. Does that seep down to the players? Probably. Some players stopped caring because Jurgen Klopp stopped caring, probably. And I'm not sure what his pre or post match speech was in the dressing room, or if his halftime speech was, but maybe the players are sensing that Jurgen Klopp has lost his spark, has lost his passion. And in turn, it looks like the players lost their spark, lost their passion on the pitch. At least some of them. And that's unacceptable. When you pull on this famous Liverpool shirt for every single day of your life, or every single minute you have to spend on the pitch or on the training ground, or even when you are relaxing, you have to give your everything. You have to give your all. That's the bare minimum of any Liverpool player. That you have to be the model professional. You have to work hard, you have to be passionate, you have to, try everything in your powers to help Liverpool win. I mean, apart from Luis Diaz and Alexis McAllister, all the other Liverpool players, if they put their hand on their heart, they can't safely say that they tried everything, that they gave everything. Or if this is what is everything from these players, then they are running on empty. And I just don't understand, how can Liverpool get so much worse when actually some of our best players came back? Trent, Alisson, Curtis Jones, Diogo Jota came back. And we look worse than when half of our team was injured. Like, that's the absolute baffling, mind-blowing thing to me. And I think it's down to Liverpool's morale and spirit getting crushed by Manchester United's 2 games, because I think that's where we lost the title race. It wasn't the game against Crystal Palace, it wasn't the game today against Everton. I think when we failed to beat Man United in the FA Cup, we were 2-1 up, we were cruising, we created chance after chance after chance, we didn't finish the game off. Man United scored a late goal to force extra time, then we were 3-2 up. Again, we were, leading, and then Man United scored 2 late goals in the second half of extra time to knock Liverpool out. And I think that game left a deep scar in every single Liverpool player's heart. It destroyed something in the Liverpool players. They lost belief in their own ability. They lost momentum. They lost confidence. They lost a lot of things. Jurgen Klopp said that the players felt more of a knock after that game than it should have been, because it was only the FA Cup. But Liverpool were going for the quadruple. They were still dreaming of winning every trophy for Jurgen Klopp. Was that a mistake by Jurgen Klopp to announce in January that he was leaving? I don't think so, because it would have leaked sooner or later. Probably it was about to leak. That's why Jurgen Klopp announced publicly that he's leaving. But it could have gone either way. It could have galvanized the players, and for a few months it actually did. Liverpool were playing out of their skin until that run of Man United in the FA Cup. After that, we were training against Brighton. We turned it around. We beat Sheffield United, but we made hard work of that. And after that, we lost to Atalanta. Very shameful. We drew to Man United in the league, and I think that game where we absolutely gifted Man United goal, that was the killer. That was the final nail. Not the final nail, but that was the first biggest nail into the coffin of Liverpool's title race. Because if we beat Man United while completely outplaying them, in the first half we had 15 shots, Man United had 0, and yet we still needed a Salah penalty to get a draw out of that one. I think that game absolutely killed Liverpool's momentum, and the players lost a lot of energy from that game, but still it doesn't excuse that Liverpool's performances have been on a steady decline. And even against Fulham, we didn't play much better. We were just clinical in our finishing for once. But after that Man United game, we lost to Atalanta, we lost to Crystal Palace, and we just can't score our chances. If you just look at the stats today, yes, Everton deserved to win, but they created 1.09 XG, so 1.1 XG. Liverpool created double, 2.06. Liverpool had more shots on target, more XG, 77% possession, but we were so wasteful. And Everton were brilliant in defensively, nullifying Liverpool in terms of we didn't have any space to play between the lines. We couldn't create many times overloads on the wing, and when we did, we created some really good chances. Darwin Núñez had a one-on-one against Pickford. Salah had 4 or 5 shots on his own, which he missed all of them. And Everton blocked a lot of our shots. But a lot of times we resorted to crosses, to high balls into the box, and Everton were eating that up for dinner, lunch and breakfast, because they love that. Everton are the best team in the air in the Premier League and the best team from set pieces in the Premier League. So they were eating up all these crosses by Liverpool, and Everton just were more on it. They were, I think, more passionate, and Liverpool just looked like we are running on empty. And it looked like some of the Liverpool players are on the beach already, or have given up, or I'm not sure. We look like a team who ran out of energy, who ran out of ideas, who ran out of our spark. Much like Jurgen Klopp, sadly. And this is a really sad way of Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool era, because I think Jurgen Klopp deserved a much better ending. And this is mostly on the players, even though Jurgen Klopp looks absolutely dejected on the touchline and in some of his interviews. The players should still do much, much better, because they are playing for Liverpool, and at Liverpool we have the highest of standards, and you have to give absolutely everything. And some of the players are giving everything, but it's just not good enough anymore. Not good enough. And Liverpool will have a very, very tough job in the summer. Who to sell, who to keep. And the new manager, I really hope that he is a strong character, whoever it may be, because some of these players need tough love. They don't need an arm around the shoulder. They need some real bollocking, that they need to wake up and perform much, much better, because some of the finishing and some of the play, some of the defending was just not good enough. It wasn't Liverpool standard performance. First defeat in 14 years at Goodison Park for Liverpool. Let me stress that enough. And it's really painful that this is how our title race ends, with a whimper, with a shameful, disgraceful performance. That's my opinion. Let me know what is yours in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.